Hello, my name is Jason Johnson, and thank you for watching this video. This video is going to be an outtake from a student support live stream that I did for Ivy Tech back on September 14th. It features Daryl Decker, who is the Director of Student Services for the Ivy Tech Richmond campus, and I'm just going to jump right into this video here, and I hope it's helpful for you.
I am Daryl Decker, and I am Assistant Director of Career Development for Ivy Tech Community College on the Richmond campus, Richmond and Connersville campuses. Okay, first, if we can just stay on this first slide here for a little bit, I want to point out that we are called Career Development, and I want to make that distinction simply because it's actually a culture change for not only Ivy Tech, but a lot of colleges nationwide. We again used to be called Career Services. Okay, and the focus then was when a student is finally finished, getting ready to graduate, and they want to enter the work world, that we would offer career services to them, such as interviewing, resume polishing, cover letter polishing, things like that. The finished product is what we were looking at. But what we found is that if we don't get students on the correct career path to begin with, then it's a possibility they may not finish that certificate or that program, and they would just simply drop out of school and we wouldn't hear from them anymore. So not only would they not have a degree or certificate, but chances are they wouldn't have a job, and chances are they may be paying back student loans without that job. We're trying to grab you from day one and start grooming you for the work world at that point. So we have a number of tools that we use to do that. So I'll try to introduce the first one if you want to advance the slide. So we do a career assessment. The tool we use IndianaCareerExplorer.com. It's an Indiana website. It's free to any Indiana resident. So there's on that Indiana Career Explorer, there's 3 assessments that you take, and they only take like 5 to 7 minutes. One tests your interest. Okay, what do you like to do? What do you think you want to do for a living? And the other is your skills. What can you do right now, and also what can you learn to do? And then the last one is workplace values. And I'd like for you to replace the word value with culture. Okay, culture, simply what type of environment do you work in? Do you want to work in a fast-paced environment or a slower one? And that's what that last assessment will do for you. And what's the, so why do we do this? Again, if you're really not sure, if you're not 100% sure of what you want to do, of what your end game is, then you and I can talk and we can figure out, using those assessments, maybe what career path you should be on, and then hopefully that will help us match up the right academic program for you to be following while you're in Ivy Tech. That is pretty much the Indiana Career Explorers, what we do in the beginning. All right, so what do we do in the middle? There's a couple other programs that we offer. One is called Workforce Excellence, okay, and that is a program. I'll go into a little detail about it in just a second, but Workforce Excellence through Ivy Tech it's a tremendous program. This is our second or third semester of using it, and one of the reasons I'm impressed with it is because when I show it to local employers, they are impressed with it, and that's what's going to make the difference. So my job now is to get you folks to sign up for Workforce Excellence, and then my job is also to educate the local employers of that program. So if you go into an interview and say, "Hey, I went through the Ivy Tech Workforce Excellence program," they're going to know what you're going to talk about, and hopefully that will separate you from your competition. Now, what that program, the end goal of that particular program, is professional skills training, and that's what I have up on the screen now. It's like this, okay? We used to call that soft skills, but that's kind of touchy-feeling now, So professional skills has replaced that particular label. What are professional skills? Well, they're things like initiatives, communication, teamwork, things like that. And we'll pull it up later, but again, it's a 4-module program. Takes a little more time and effort, about 35 to 40 minutes per module, but well worth it in the end to print up that certificate and take it in an interview with you. Also, this is kind of cool. We career development, we set up job fairs, career fairs, transfer fairs, things like that on campuses. The other thing is we offer internships. Now, some of our internships, or excuse me, some of our academic programs require internships. However, if you're an individual who is in a program that doesn't require one, but you would like to try an internship out, it used to be you would just try to have to find one on your own and beg the employer to bring you on. But the state of Indiana has what's called the Earn Indiana program, and they will reimburse an employer 50% of your wages if you qualify for that. Again, and this is where now we're into more of the traditional career services aspect of career development. This is, again, the career fairs I mentioned before. But if you're actually ready to enter the workforce, or you think you're ready, then we can go over other skills for you. Resumes, cover letters, how to dress for an interview. Interviewing is a incredibly stressful procedure. So we can do mock interviews. We can do them online, over your phone, over your laptop. If you want to do face-to-face panel, we can set that up. We also offer, at least on the Richmond campus, we offer business etiquette dining, either a lunch or a dinner once an academic year. And again, that is, we set it up to where you come in, you get we have a professional speaker, a professional presenter come in, and we just go over dining etiquette, because some of your interviews may be a lunch or a dinner, and they want to see how you react in public, and if you know what to do. So that's another service we offer our students. All this is really just tied into just proven to you and to our employers you have what it takes to get a job and be a successful employee. Don't make the only contact that you and I have at the very tail end of your academic career. Please come see me first.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at how, if you were a student, how you would find career services or career development and be able to obtain those services. So where would we go first when we get to this website?
All right. Again, it's www.ivytech.edu. All right, so it's on the screen, and the easiest thing for you to do to find career development is go to the search bar and type in career. And then hopefully the very first link you pulls up will be career development.
Okay.
All right, now I want to again pause on this page for just a few seconds. You can see where there's information for students and alumni, information for employers. Now, one thing I need to emphasize is if you're a student, okay, all these services that I've talked about so far, they're free to you as a student. Now, when you graduate, when you get that certificate and when you're an alumni, also you have access again to career development on your Ivy Tech campus, and we'll do at least 95% of those services for you still. Again, we'll help you with your resume, we'll help you with your cover letters, we'll help you with interviews, whatever you need. But it's still keeping on this page, you can see also where we have Hire Ivy. All right, now that is, I don't think I mentioned this in the PowerPoint presentation. That's again used. Think of it as, and I hate to use this word, but it's an online job posting board. Okay, you again would use your Ivy Tech credentials as a student to sign into it and create an account. However, right now, last time I checked, there was 22,000 employers on Hire Ivy. Okay, so, and they're fishing for our students. But let's just say you're almost ready, not quite ready, to enter the workforce. Well, again, this is a tool that you can use to submit your resume to me. My goal is to take that resume, take it to the faculty member that knows the vernacular, knows the field, has the contacts, and then we'll polish it up together, and then I send it back to you. And if you're happy with it, you can upload it again and make it available to employers. Now, right in the middle there is that Workforce Excellence Program we were talking about, where I encourage everybody, every student to get in on it. It's a fantastic product. That's the one I was talking about that I show to employers, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's what our workforce needs, this kind of training, yeah.
All right, so the link's right there in the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah.
And I did sign up for this yesterday. I did check a couple of the videos out, and I did the first survey.
Yeah, so if you want to do that again, Jason, I don't know if you're...
I'll go ahead and sign in. I think I'm signed up. It looks as a student, so let me...
If you're a student, if you're an Ivy Tech student, I need for you to show.
You do the Ivy Tech. Do you
Yeah.
need they need to do the Ivy Tech email account.
Yeah, they need to show Richmond as their campus.
And I did do that.
Okay, and then and use your Ivy Tech email address. Now, unfortunately, I don't. Jason, if you have any viewers out there that are not Ivy Tech students, they cannot use this.
Okay.
This is strictly for us for right now.
Okay.
But again, it's a terrific program. Now, what I've started pushing recently, and I didn't at first, is there's an assessment tool. Yeah, I think you got your
strengths. That's the
Yeah.
one I did yesterday,
okay.
where it went through, and I'll just kind of show you. This is after I did
Perfect.
it. This is the assessment that it came up with. So yeah, I'm teaching, but low customer focus.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So.
But it was fairly close. I'm an introvert, so when I went to the personality fit, and it pegged me all the way to the left as an introvert. So,
All right,
and it's collaborative about the middle, which is where introverts usually fall. So it's
Yeah, and that really yields a lot of valuable information. Now, do you remember about how long it took you?
It probably took me about 15, 20 minutes, only because some of the questions I was, making sure I understood what I was answering. So I would do probably about 30 minutes to go through, but it's well worth the time.
Right. And see, when a student finishes a module, you can see where the last one says, visit your career development center to pick up your prize. Right now, I do have what I'm going to call it an interviewing kit, for lack of a better word. There's 4 components to it. There is an Ivy Tech branded writing pen for Module 1, an Ivy Tech branded business card holder for Module 2. For Module 3, when you complete that, it's a nice pad folio. And then for completing all of them, again, there's a certificate for you to print up, and there's also a satchel for you to carry all this into. All right, now, if again you notice, we branded this. Okay, so Indiana Career Explorer, and the website address is at the bottom of the page there. What you'll notice is when you type in IndianaCareerExplorer.com, that'll take you to if you advance the slide, I didn't have a picture. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, it says Cooter. Cooter was a workforce psychologist who developed the assessments that you take in here. And again, this is not pop psychology. This guy came up with this system decades ago. It's been refined, it's been polished, it's been tested again and again, that these assessments are really what the workplace is looking for, and they can really be used as a guide. So,
okay.
Again, you can use this as an Indiana resident, Indiana student. If you're an Ivy Tech, especially an Ivy Tech Richmond student, you can get on here, and then I would be your administrator if you show. So yeah, it would be important, I guess, to show.
So they want to sign up as an Ivy Tech with their Ivy Tech email address.
Yes. All right. So it's going to ask you, because there's a high school product, and there's also an older student product, post-secondary and even adult. But I think for our purposes, I always say just show yourself as a college student in that first box.
Okay.
And then, and this is where it gets, if you're a student who's got 30 credit hours or less, show yourself as a freshman. And then it's also going to ask you what year you expect to graduate. You can put it 2 to 3 years out. There's not a whole lot of difference there. But what is important is the box that says asks you site, center, or ICE site. That's where you would just type in. I think.
Is that the next one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, type in IVY, and that pulls up all the different campuses. And again, if you're an Ivy Tech Richmond student, you would show yourself as an Ivy Tech Community College Richmond. If you are taking this class online and you're from another campus, you would select your campus. And I believe they're still showing regions right now as an East Central region.
Oh, okay. It says Lawrenceburg campus, Madison campus. Some of them are saying campus, some of them are just saying just Richmond. So I'm sure.
Oh, maybe it's changed. Okay.
As we go through that, I know it's official as of September 16th.
Yeah.
Official. Mm-hmm. I know on the going from divisions to schools is also on the 16th. So all right.
Okay. And then.
So they just do their expected graduation year there.
Yep.
they've got that for their site.
Yeah, there's.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is all personal information, obviously, and then.
And make sure you use your Ivy Tech email address.
Yes, it'd be much easier for me to find you if you do it that way.
I know some students are reluctant to do that. They want to get the email address. They want to have all their email going to one, but it's just important for tracking purposes so that we can keep in contact with you based on the Ivy Tech domain.
Yes, that's a great point.
Okay, so we sign up, put in our username, and then step 4, we just finish that up. So we put in our information here. Okay.
Boom, and that's where it'll take you to. Now you can. There's a number of ways you can get to these assessments. However, you notice there's 3 almost blank blue boxes. You can just click on each one of those. Well, you'll click on the first one, obviously. Work through that. Again, these assessments only take 5 to 7, possibly 10 minutes at the most. And then once you finish, then you go back to the home page and you would click on the middle one and keep working on your way down from there. So yeah.
Okay.
And
there we go.
yeah, and I'm just showing you a couple different ways to.
Okay.
But also, Jason, if you see the red text above it,
right there.
yeah, this is another site where you can use. It's got very useful templates to write resumes and cover letters. However, when you print those up, they don't look all that professional. So I would use this as a template to plug in your information, and then print it off, look at it, but then actually go into a word processing document to make the final finished product, which then again you can upload to Hire Ivy if you've created that account.
Okay.
All right. So let's see where we're at here.
And that's doing one of the interest
Yeah,
assessments.
and that's one that it's easy to skip over. I think it defaults to a 4-year degree if you don't show yourself as a 2-year degree. So again, if you put in the wrong level of education that you're hoping to attain and get with that job, it'll skew your results like crazy. And so make sure that's accurate. And then you just click the begin assessment, and that's what a sample one looks like.
Okay, so write lyrics for a song. Okay, so it's probably assessing: are you creative? Are you more towards the engineering side? Are you more towards
Yep.
hands-on?
Exactly.
And then I know some of them do. Are you more visual? Are you more hands-on? I mean, those types of things too. So okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So this is very similar to the other site as well, getting the assessments. Okay.
Right. Yeah. It's all almost pretty much the same. And then you can print these reports out if you like. That is, there's that button, and then
Let me keep going, or-
yeah. Let's go back. Okay.
Go back
No,
up,
no, you're fine there.
Okay.
Okay, and then one more, and
okay,
one
so
more.
it shows your okay.
Yeah. So if you want to just check your interests without doing all 3, you can pull up assessments one by one or at all using all 3. So okay. And yeah, these are all self-explanatory.
All right. Then you get your results there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I like that.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if you see the
Indiana State Demand.
there, yeah. What I fail to show on the bottom of all these, see, when I print screen these, I can only get the top maybe 3/4 of it. But at the bottom, I think, of every screen in Indiana Career Explorer is another link called the Hoosier Hot 50. Okay. Same employment information, just presented in a different form and actually easier to find. But it takes you to the top 10 jobs in Indiana, and then obviously to the top 50. And kind of shows the same information here. If you look at that very first one, broadcast technician, you notice there's 4, I'll call them fireballs. That's a pretty high demand. 5 out of 5 is the best. That takes into account not just the salary, but also the demand for the job. And if you want, and again, it's one of these deals where you can just keep drilling down, get into the weeds. Nationwide demand, statewide demand, local demand, all that's in there for you. It's just a matter of, just getting around and clicking around, I should say.
Okay. Okay.
And then job title, yeah, that's another way of if you know exactly what you want to do, and you want to just get down to that information and find the salary and the demand and stuff like that, you can use the title search for that.
Okay. So, for example, my daughter is wanting to teach either elementary or K-12, or somewhere in K-12. Mm-hmm. So she could do this and then say, okay, this is going to lead into that particular area, and she could get more information on that. Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of services, a lot of programs. I encourage you again, if you're an Ivy Tech student, don't make this the only time you hear about Darrell Decker. Get with Jason, get with me, and we'll, again, if you, one of my favorite quotes is, Jason gave me a good one from Winston Churchill earlier, but one of my favorite quotes is from Mike Tyson, and it goes something like, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. So metaphorically, if you get punched in the mouth in the middle of your education and you're thinking about a career change, or actually at the very beginning, then maybe career development is where you need to start, and we can start assessing. And then once we get you on the path that you're comfortable with and you know that you want to do, then we can start with all the other services.